Right, kia ora, let's see if we can get this working this morning. Kia ora, good morning everybody. Right, let's wait till I see some thumbs up coming up, then I'll know that I'm working. Alright, good morning everybody. Just waiting to see some things coming up here. Yes, another day is going to happen today. Another day that's going to bring us closer to hopefully rescuing our country. Another day of dealing with a corrupt government that is destroying our economy and our freedoms. Another day where we have to put up with the media nonsense that we see that they're putting out, which is generating such fear and anxiety amongst people, it's not even believable. Another day where we will fight for those things which are so important to protect us and defend our country, defend our rights and our freedoms, and defend our children's futures. This is what the entire thing is about. Good morning everybody. Good morning Te Aorangi. Good morning Pete. Good to see you Peter. Cheryl, good morning. Karen, good morning everybody. Lee. Alright guys, I've got quite a bit of stuff to cover this morning already. I've been involved in all sorts of meetings and Zoom meetings, and it's just amazing to see the amount of people that are waking up, that are jumping on board, that are absolutely self-empowered and awake to what's going on here, and are committed to working with other people, to help them slowly but surely open their eyes to what we're dealing with here. And it's not a dream, it's a nightmare. We're not making this up, it's real, it's not conjecture, it's not conspiracy theory, it's all fact. And so I've got a whole list of bullet points here that I want to cover off. But first off, what I do want to say is that I'm really, really proud of our Banks Peninsula candidate, Advanced New Zealand candidate, way down south of Christchurch there in Banks Peninsula. We've got a lovely candidate, Tia Mara, and she is an amazing broadcaster in her own right. And she has got a fantastic bunch of footage of herself talking about our response to claims that we're conspiracy people and that we're conspiracy nutters. Now what she's done is she's completely debunked all of that into a awesome presentation, and we're going to upload that, and that's going to be ready for viewing later this afternoon. Both myself, Jamie Lee, and Ross and I, we're just absolutely proud of what she's done here. It's just amazing, and she's done a great job of putting it all together, all the objections and the rebuttals to the claims, because there's nothing conspiratorial about the fact that we said that they would militarise operations, and they've done that. I don't care what media say, they can try and paint a whatever picture they like. But my daughter came through a checkpoint yesterday with her little ones, and she rang me up and said, Dad, these army people here, these police people here, and she's getting questioned by army personnel asking her who she is, where she's going, blah 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 blah. And I'm sorry, that's military operations, whichever way you want to call it, that's what it is. And so we called that out months ago. We said that was going to happen. The COVID-19 health response bill, that's not a conspiracy theory, that's a fact. We know that the quarantine management system has now become a detaining system. It's a detention centre type arrangement where they now have military that are managing these centres of detention, where they will, without any compunction, they will separate whānau, they will take families away from each other and segregate them. Now why the heck do they need to do that for something that we now know is nothing worse than a standard flu? And these are the questions that we need to ask, and nobody is asking the questions in the right way. One of the funniest things I've noticed in the last week though is how people have in the other minor parties are starting to slowly but surely start talking about democracy and rights and freedoms, but it's too late. They missed the boat, they missed the waka, and they've supported things that they should never have supported. The most essential thing that we need to protect and talk about today is how our rights and freedoms are being eradicated, eroded, destroyed because of the way that this government is behaving as part of it's a global plan. It's an absolute global plan. It's a global narrative that's false, even though some of those very same people who kicked off that narrative are now starting to backpedal. For example, WHO, they now say that the lethality of the disease is between 0.5 and 1%. excuse me, just give it that, 0.5% and 1% lethal. That's a heck of a lot different to 3 to 6% we started off with Neil Ferguson. We've got the Centre for Disease Control now saying 0.4 upwards. So, come on guys, our government hasn't updated its position based on this new data. It's still working on the same data it had during lockdown 1, where we accepted that there might be a threat, when we accepted there were reasons to be cautious. But now those reasons have been totally understood. They're not justifiable anymore for what we're seeing here. And I've got to say that I posted yesterday afternoon a copy of the footage of the Irish protest in Dublin, and I've got to tell you how absolutely impressed I was by the Irish people standing up, talking about this nonsense that they're dealing with. They're dealing with exactly the same things. You see, the things that we're dealing with here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, the very same things that these leaders, these socialist leaders around the world are on. They're on that waka, and they're trying to get everybody to buy it and swallow what they're pushing down their throats. But people are waking up all around the planet, and Ireland is a great example of it, where they had a mass protest in Dublin, and it was just so impressive. I tell you, it was just awesome. And the guy Jim Core, that was the main speaker at the event, what a neat guy. I tell you, I was totally inspired by him, and want to thank him for the great work that he's doing. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. But this is an awake people, and they are protesting people, and they're not standing for it. Okay, I had a bit of a giggle yesterday when my colleague Jamie Lee Ross posted our meme that we've got up there, where it shows Judith Collins saying, "I trust that the PM has made the right decisions based on the information that she has." And for Judith Collins to capitulate that and say that she totally trusts the Prime Minister shows that they're completely on the same page, that they are working for the same people, and it's not the New Zealand people. I was quite shocked when I saw that, because a couple of weeks earlier, as you know, both her and Jerry Brownlee were sitting on their stage talking to the press conference, saying how grotesque the government were in their management of the whole COVID-19 crisis, how untransparent they are, and how dishonest looking they are. Next minute, she's jumping on their waka, singing Kumbaya with them, saying that the PM can be trusted. Well, I'm sorry, Judith, if you're saying that, you can't be trusted, and you cannot be trusted to run this country. These people cannot be trusted to do that. So I had a bit of a giggle when Jamie Lee posted up that very appropriate and appropriate meme that he posted yesterday about Judith. So if you haven't seen it, go and have a look on it. It's on our Facebook page. It's quite a hoot. And also, one of the things that we're starting to see more of course, is the broad width of attack from the media. Whether they like it or not, they're having to address us and acknowledge that we're here. But when they do acknowledge us, they always try and marginalise us by saying that we're conspiracy people. But we're not, and we're not scaremongering. What we are about is absolutely educating all of us as to what these people are doing to our country, our economy, our freedoms, our rights. Because ultimately, what we believe that they're aiming for is that they're aiming to bring in mandatory testing. They're aiming to, which they've already started to do in workplaces, and mandatory vaccinations, and we are not going to stand for it. This is about pro-choice. We're not anti-anything. We're all about pro-choice and freedoms and democracy to choose as sovereign people of New Zealand, of Aotearoa. Because each one of us, whānau, we need to understand this. This is something that I'm really putting my head into to learn. We are all and can be sovereign, and I'll go into that at another time. Also, guys, today don't forget TK Tuesdays with Vinny at 12 o'clock. Do tune in. It's going to be a cracker today. We've got lots to discuss and lots to expose there that we're going to be talking about. And also just want to promote the Liberty Marches that are happening. So we've got a Liberty March this Saturday in Auckland, and I believe we've got one in Wellington. Guys, please get on the bandwagon here. Get on the bandwagon. But I do want to announce this after a very intense Zoom discussion this morning with my co-leader Jamie Lee Ross. we are very, very pleased to announce that we are working on a format for a major protest. I want to announce that very clearly now. I want that we are going to organise the largest protest, we hope, that hasn't been seen since I can't remember, maybe the Springbok protests, maybe like that. But we are going to absolutely organise a massive rally and protest in Auckland. Okay, so that's going to mean that we're going to want everybody to fly in for it. We're going to want all of the groups to come in. We're going to want all of the sovereignty people to come in. We're going to want all of those groups that are interested in democracy and freedoms to come in and absolutely protest together as one whānau, as one unit, against what this government is doing to all of us and trying to do to us that we're not going to allow for, we're not going to stand for. Also, guys, masks. One of my other candidates, Claire Deeks, she pointed out a really good thing to me today. Claire is a lawyer by trade, and she, would remember that the other day I mentioned about that there's a primary school in Dunedin that is now trialling what they call Monday Mask Day, which is the day that they're using to culturalise children to wear masks, right? And so, but in this article, the verbiage and the words that they use include the words that they want to have the children to socialise mask wearing. Socialise mask wearing. And, that's another word for brainwashing kids. That's another word for that, really. Let's not call it anything else. Let's not beat around the bush. That's what they're doing. And this mask nonsense is proven again when you have these official medical organisations, health organisations saying that wearing masks are not the be or end all. They're not good for us. Why? Because they reduce the strength of our immune system. Number two, they don't fully prevent the transportation of a virus. So why are we doing it? I believe it's all about conditioning us to do what we're told, to get us compliant, and to segregate us again using divisive tactics. Why? Because all of a sudden, if you go into an area and people are wearing masks and you're not, who's the odd one out? You are. I am. And so what does that do? That makes them want to have a go at you because you're not wearing a mask. And that's how they're doing it. Black Lives Matter, all of it. All lives matter. All of those things sent to divide us. Absolute nonsense. And we need to be onto this whānau. So I really want you to please take a note that the Liberty March is this Saturday, but myself and my team, we are going to be working with a bunch of people from across the country to do a massive all-time big protest in Auckland, and we're going to send a message very, very clearly to this government that we're going to take no more of their nonsense. They need to go. We need to get them out, and they need to be investigated as to why they've made the decisions that they have to rob us of our freedoms, destroy our economy, and cause people to be so scared that they contemplate committing suicide because they don't want to stand the idea of being force vaccinated. And that's the messaging that we're getting from people, are saying that they're that concerned that that's something that they would consider. So please, whānau, reach out. If you're concerned, talk to people. Send me a message, reach out, and people out there that can help others, please do. That's what this is about. We are going to be one whānau. Ko whānau ko tahi tātou ki runga e te kingi a Ukraiti. We are one family under the Lord, and it's something I'm really committed to believing in, and we can do this together. Protect our country, be sovereign, and defend our futures and those of our children. All right, whānau, I better leave it there. I've got so much to do. It hurts to think about it, but I want to wish you all a great day. Please take care. Advance New Zealand. Your voice, yes, we continue to say the things that tick the media off, that make them want to attack us. Your power, because you've given us the mandate and the message to say, and your party, because you wanted it to be this way. All right, guys, God bless. Have a great day, and I'll update you tonight. Kia ora tātou.